Now, on the 24th of June 2024, the first contingent of 400 Kenyan police officers left the country for one of the world's most dangerous peacekeeping assignments in Haiti. The first contingent of 230 officers returned home on Tuesday, less 3 who died in the mission. Samira Mohammed had a sit-down with one officer, Clapaton Imbilu, who was the commander of the troop in Haiti, just after the return, and he shares the experience of the officers.
On 24th June 2024, the first contingent of 400 Kenya police officers left the country for one of the world's most dangerous peacekeeping assignments in Haiti.
My name is Imbilu Clapaton, Senior Superintendent of Police. I'm an officer from the GSU unit. I remember very well on 24th month of June 2024, when we had finished our training completely, and the president himself came in and talked to us and gave us a flag and told us, you are going to provide service for humanity in Haiti. We were waiting for this for a long time because we had been in a 10-month training. And then we had also taken some 3 weeks to learn foreign languages, that's French, Creole. And as we are talking now, it made our work very easy when we landed in Haiti.
But what was on their minds as they left the country for the gang-ravaged Caribbean nation, Haiti?
While in the flight, I want to be very honest because we didn't know what to expect, but we knew it was not easy. At the back of the mind, but then this is a story that you go through alone, and you look at everybody and you see, like, are they thinking like me, or is me alone? And you realize everybody is also thinking about it, only that the way people express themselves is very different. Sometimes we say, everybody for himself, but God for us all. At times it's very important, so that you start meditating. You see, like you consult yourself. But all the same, you gain courage and you tell yourself, if I don't go there, who else will go there? And you see, they have selected out of many officers who appear able, but they decided you are the most determined officer to do that task. So I could not also let my seniors down, you know. If they pick on you, they trust you, they believe in you, and then you don't let them down. So equally, you must prove to them that you are capable, so that you also make sure you buy their trust in you.
And how did they land at Saint Louverture International Airport in Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, a city that had been taken over by gangs? Remember, many international airlines refused to fly to Haiti due to gang threats, but Kenya Airways stepped in and saved the day.
Regardless of those small worries, it's normal for a human being. We went, remember, if a plane is going to land, if an enemy is targeting an aeroplane, it's either at takeoff or at landing. So that's what I was also thinking of. Now, look. You know, you are in the Boeing, you know, it's entire, like a whole world. You are seated there and then this far to that end. Then you imagine somebody messing up with that with all the numbers. So I used to think of it and say, now, this enemy, because sometimes you must think like the enemy to win the enemy. If you want to outsmart your enemy, then you must understand their modus operandi. So that is also what I was trying to think. Now, these guys then, lucky enough, we had a pilot who was also very smart. He arrived in Haiti, kept the flight very high, and then find the bearing. In fact, we went to Kingston first. And you see, Kingston is past Haiti. Then we rotated and came back. So on landing, when the flight touched the ground, everybody clapped. Everybody was very happy. That was one achievement, that we have landed safely. And we were received very warmly by the Haitians people. I want to say that Haitians people are very good people, very humble fellas. very welcoming. They are black like us, and they say they are our black brothers. So they were very happy to see us. Before they were imagining, who are these coming? And then I want to say that our flight, it also created an image in their minds that these are able, these are a country that is able, a country that is well-resourced. And this is a country that is good because they saw Kenya Airways, pride of Africa. And some people, even in Haiti, were asking, are you from Africa? You know, sometimes when you mention Africa, Africa is Kenya. Yeah, so Kenya plays a bigger role depending on how you present yourself outside. So that image was very good.
Assignment number 1 for the Kenyan officers was to study the terrain, gangs' movements and crimes routes before launching operations to secure the airport that became their base.
We took our position in the country. We were shown where to stay, what we call the life support area, where we have our accommodation. And things started working. We were fed well. We did our job without issues. We had vehicles, yes, what we call the armored vehicles. They were good. By then, you know, as you venture is when you realize some of the little challenges. But then at that time, they were good. Then we started now going out for operations. First, when we arrived, remember, we were worried about the airports. So we said, this must be a priority for us. You see, if your house is not safe, how do we trust you with any other assignment outside? Charity begins at home. So we protected that area, we pacified it, extensive patrols all over around the airport, 24/7. Then the airport became fairly safe because sometimes you don't predict the movement of the enemy. Because gangs sometimes they show up today, they take time, they don't show up, they also change strategies. So we had also to make sure we are also monitoring the activities. What I would say the success in especially taking care of the airport came in is that we basically did what we call intelligence-led operations, whereby we first of all get information, where the enemy is, what are they planning, and trust me, we have a very strong team in Kenya, and I can bet anywhere. When it comes to intelligence gathering, I respect our national intelligence team. They are the best because they gave us what we call accurate information. And you see, you will easily fail if you don't get the correct intel about the activities of the enemy. And then when you get now, still you sit down with them and then you discuss. How do we plan for this? Then they will also advise and tell you how to go about it. And then you share. Then you come in with your tactical skills now. Then you get what we call success in that operation. So the airport, perfect. Then now, we started again rolling out.
Before the Kenyan police were deployed to Haiti in efforts to suppress criminal gangs that were almost running the capital, Port-au-Prince, there was resistance and fears among many. But what have the Kenya's police achieved in Haiti for the last 18 months?
So this was a venture that I'm telling you, we worked hard with all those challenges, but we achieved. We achieved what we achieved. And I'm happy to say this is a mission that's well accomplished. To the point we have pushed, that is what we could do. And the guys who have now rotated us, they should now go beyond that. And that's why we have a lot of trust in them, because our officers are able officers, and they will be able to do all this until Haitians should appreciate that now we have a government that is working. We have institutions that are now working. They are able to train their officers in these police colleges, in the military colleges, and they are enjoying peace. At least people can do business in most of parts of Haiti. But when we went in Port-au-Prince, there was no go zone. Gangs were taxing everybody. They had barricaded all the routes. But then through our efforts and the support of also the Haitian National Police, then we did it together and we were able to clear those roads. Now the highway are passable. The areas where we still have problems, we are also still rolling out the operation so that everywhere is okay. Yes.
There were allegations that the officers did not receive monthly allowance. Was this the case? And if not, what was the real situation?
MAT Security Support Mission has his leadership, as we were with the contingents. And those complaints about officers not being paid, I think I may be hearing it for the first time. That's misinformation. Officers, we don't call it, it's not a salary. We say the daily subsistence allowance. They're just being supported because they already have a salary in the country. And then no day salary misses. No day. The police salary, you will always earn it in time and due as it should. But the subsistence allowance, sometimes we might be having just slight challenges, maybe a delay of 2 or 3 days or 1 week. Police officers think now the money is not there. Maybe some of them might have found that leeway, maybe to make complaints. But that one means maybe at a point we miss to communicate that when we have such delays. But they're just delays. Nobody's money can get lost in such international missions. Already everything is prepared, it's in the schedule. They know what they owe you and they will always pay. So as we are talking, people have been paid. These officers, and trust me, if you do a follow-up of one of them, maybe, randomly you can select, maybe 4 out of 10. Trust me, they will never be the same again in their life. Especially these young officers, if they plan well, they have money that can change their life, can change their families. And I think I don't expect an officer who has come from Haiti, like maybe their children complaining next year that they cannot take their kids to school because they don't have money. We have more than enough. More than enough. Look, I have my salary and I have that one. So we are able to do what it takes to make sure we are comfortable with our families. When it comes to financial power, they have power.
And what has the mission taught them on peace and stability?
Nobody should allow goons to take over any part of this country and control it. We have our government, we have the system, we have Kenya Revenue Authority that can only tax. Anybody else trying to get into that, that's clear extortion, and police officers, they understand the law, they must act. So I'm telling you what is happening in Kenya, these small issues, where people are hiding behind something, some small issues. It's a high time they knew peace is very important. And it's just like something that people will brush off and say, no problem. No, they were just, tomorrow, they arm themselves with their rifles and they want to fight even the police. So what should be happening is that if, at whatever level, a certain group decides to come up and they are breaching the law, then action should be taken at that point. We should not wait so that you say, oh, these ones belong to so and so. Nothing should happen like that. Whoever the person is, you cannot hide behind somebody saying that I'm supporting so and so to commit crime. In fact, that so and so, when we arrest you now, let that so and so come now so that we ask so and so, look, tell us, are you the one now sponsoring this? Trust me, because the sponsors and the committers of crimes, all of them are the same, because you are betting that. And this should not happen. So what I'm saying is that let these few Kenyans who are trying to break the law bring Haiti in Kenya. That should not happen, because if it happens, then there will be no country. And if you realize, then, you see, that was a test of how things can be bad. When we had post-election violence, 2007, 2008, I think most families, even now, they know what it means. But Most of these Gen Zs, they don't know. So when we talk about peace, it's good sometimes people go on YouTube, wherever, check. Because, you cannot understand peace if you have never seen violence sometimes. And then don't wait to see violence to understand peace. Better stick to peace that you have always enjoyed. Because when violence comes in, the two never go together.
Despite being bashed at home for human rights violation, Kenyan officers were praised for maintaining exemplary discipline and upholding strict human rights standards during the historic mission in Haiti.
Before we left, we had senior officers experienced, like me, but then we had these junior officers who probably, apart from their basic trainings in the human rights, they have never had a time maybe to revise, but we always brief them before any duty. Even when we are here in Kenya, any time before they go for any assignment. Let what people think that these officers are well informed. Before you go for an assignment, you brief them that, look, we are going for this assignment, this area, this is what should happen, and we don't expect this, like violation of human rights. You must tell them. Those are issues of indiscipline still. They go together. Before we left, we had a very comprehensive review of what is expected on matters of human rights as per the UN standards. So we studied that and we went into this assignment knowing all matters concerning human rights. And that's why, up to now, we went and came back without even a single case on violation of human rights. No single case of sexual exploitation and abuse. No single case of extrajudicial killings. No case of any crime committed by a Kenyan in Haiti. Why? We upheld our standards also. Before even we left, we had so many people talking to us, including His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samuel. He told us, look, guys, keep our flag high. And we were even telling him, we are late, we want to go, we are ready. So there is nothing we could do, because this one means we could have disapproved his wish, and we could not do that. So every time you talk to these officers, okay, officers, look, before you go for this job, watch out A, B, C, D. So like we had a checklist on what should not be done and what should be done. And that's why we come back shoulder high. We have no stains on our names that, okay, you did this, you did this. No such cases.
Before the Kenya police were deployed to Haiti in efforts to suppress criminal gangs that were almost overrunning the capital Port-au-Prince, there was resistance and fears among many. The matter was fought in courts and dragged the process until June 2024, when the first team landed in the war-torn city. And since then, many credit their arrival for the stability being experienced in the Caribbean country. And according to officials, had they not arrived and taken positions, the criminal gangs could be in charge of Port-au-Prince. And against all odds, the Kenya police have proved their capability following their successful mission in restoring freedom of movement, the reopening of key road networks, and significant progress in training the Haitian police.
Where Haiti is now, from where we found it, is a big milestone. A country we found no government institutions working at all. I want you to imagine a situation whereby if you fall sick, there is no hospital, there is no doctor to attend to you, there are no facilities because the gangs have taken over that facility and they are controlling it. Can you imagine, like, if you talk of Nairobi Hospital, Karen Hospital, Kenyatta National Hospital, under the hands of gangs, and they say this thing should close, and they close them down. And they take everything, they loot, they do and loot everything, like for themselves. So we made sure that institutions are working. So the government started at least working I told you about the highways. The roads were no, we have roads, but gangs are taxing the citizen to drive over the roads. So we had to clear the barricades. And you know how we do it. You know, you get this caterpillar that clears the road, and you see somebody must drive it. And you can imagine how dangerous it is. And these guys, besides shooting at you, they also use what we call these Molotov cocktails, petrol bombs. So sometimes if you are not careful, they'll definitely damage you anytime at will. So I want to say that we have achieved a lot. And then on our part also, coming back, experience amid other countries, amid away from home, interacting with people, different cadres, different experience also, working differently because we have expertise. Like when in the mission we have people who are only dealing pilots, they are only doing what we call air combatants, we have ground combatants, we have the marine combatants. When you share experiences, you see you become like now you are whole. Because you know what they do, they know what I do. When we share, then there is somewhere I can improve also in my country also when you come back. Because we have learned also a lot, like gaps 1, 2, 3, which we can always make sure those things work better for our country.
Samira Mohammed for TV 47.